Yo, what is up? The 1357 was my favorite tank in the game for many years. I've not played it in about 3 years, and I wanted to find out if this tank still got what it takes in 2022. And you know, with equipment 2.0 and all the crazy new tanks, is the 1357 still fun to play in 2022? Now, right off the bat, we are in highway map, and in my team I already have one of the few problems that you have to come to terms with in 2022. My teammate is in an EBR Hodge, which is a wheeled tank, and because of that he's going to be able to get a lot more spotting than I will ever have in my tank, and that's not because he's got a better gun or he's got better camouflage or he's got a better paint job or whatever. He's just got wheels, and with wheels he's got the mobility, he's got the ability to drive around, spot the enemy teams, and be a very difficult target for the enemies to hit, which is why he can go forward and take bigger risks than I do. I'm not in a very quick tank, I'm easy to hit, and this is one of the realities in 2022. If you are coming up in a game where your teammate has a wheel tank or the enemy has a wheel tank, they're going to have an advantage, and you have to adapt to that advantage and play accordingly. Now, when I first got my 1357, I was a free-to-play player, and the 1357 was only my second tank I ever bought with real money. The first being a Cromwell B, of course. The first edition 1357 came with the WGL livery and was kind of like a commemorative tank to mark the first WGL Grand Finals. Now here we are. I'm being as aggressive as I can because the EBR was aggressive. If it wasn't for him, I would have been a little bit more passive and I would have been playing the spotting game a lot longer. But if I did not try to move forward or try to be aggressive here, I would have not got anything out of this game. I was forced to move up and be try to take some spotting damage, try to do some damage for myself. I had to move up because the rest of my team we've already taken up 3/4 of the map, and if I didn't do that I would have had nothing in this game. So anyway, back when the 1357 just came out, low tier lights were matched with tier 10s all the time. This made the 1357 kind of like a challenging tank to master, and it was even more challenging if you were new to light tank gameplay. I was just an okay player in it, but eventually I got better, and then I got pretty good later on. But suddenly in 2019, Wargaming decided to nerf all the light tanks, and all the tech tree light tanks got pushed up one whole tier higher, and some even got their stats nerfed and their guns removed. Example, the SP1C was a really fun autoloader, and so was the Bulldog, the tier 7 Bulldog. That had the gun removed and bumped up to tier 8. But the light tank apocalypse changed all this, and because premium tanks were like bought with real money, including this one, Wargaming left them untouched. So this tank, the Type 62, the Type 64, emerged from the apocalypse, the light tank apocalypse, in a stronger position because all the other competing light tanks were nerfed. So here we are, very quickly into the game. We've already definitely won it. Now all I need to do is just make sure I don't die, try to get as much damage for myself as possible without getting myself killed. It's very difficult for us to lose this game now because we have more than 3/4 of the map in control, and there's just no way we're gonna lose this. So it's just a matter of trying not to die, trying to get the most out of this game. Unfortunately, I can't go much further because if I do, I'll get spotted out by one of the the tank destroyers or whatever, and then those guys at the back will be able to snipe me out, and I will get get clapped almost instantly. It looks like the IKV is running away, IKB is running away, and I'll get to shoot at him a little bit before he gets away. And there is a Scorpion G, or a regular Scorpion that's in the ditch, so I'm just going to rush down, and hopefully he doesn't get a shot at me, and I'll be able to either get some assisted damage or get some actual damage for myself. He shot his gun and he was looking somewhere else, so managed to finish him. I'm going to reload quickly. That's one of the skills you need to learn when you're driving the 1357. Sometimes you just need to make sure you reload, because you have something like 15 seconds to reload. While you're driving somewhere, you might as well reload. It doesn't matter if you have 7 more shells in your tank or 8 shells in your tank or whatever. If you have time to reload, if you can make that calculation, that mental calculation, whether it's worth it or not to reload, do it and get it over with, get it quickly, so that make sure that you have 9-10 shots. I think this is a 9 shell tank. Make sure that you have a full clip by the time you approach the enemy. This is the end of the game already. I only did 1146 damage with 515 spotting. I should have known better than to auto aim here. I should have manual aimed it, and because of that I got myself killed. But what do? It happens. But here's the next game. We are in Abbey and I'm on the south spawn. This is a game where I am the top tier and the lower tier is the tier 6. The first game I was the bottom tier and the tier 8 was the top tier. I'm going to play down the middle, try and catch any of the bad guys going up the Abbey, and I'm going to flank them from the side. That's the plan anyway. And then I'm going to move over to a very popular clan war position, which is up the ledge. I'm going to show you in a minute. It looks like there isn't any of the enemy light tanks going up to the Abbey, so I'm going to take the clan wars position here, try and get to the forwardest position up on the ledge and see if I can spot any of the enemies in the base. But anyway, back to my story. Because light tanks were bought with real money, this tank was left untouched and it became kind of like overpowered. It kind of became very powerful. The performance of the 1357 completely skyrocketed as soon as they did the light tanks apocalypse. They nerfed all the light tanks. The 1357 suddenly became an extremely powerful tank, and good for me. It basically became god tier. Not only are you now a stronger tank, but the new matchmaker also meant that you no longer see tier 10s. It was limited to 2 tiers up or whatever. You no longer saw tier 10s after the light tank apocalypse. So for me, this became my favorite tank to play. Very fast, stealthy and fun. The 1357 was providing all my sensors with adequate stimulation to make for a very fun and addictive gameplay. In 2022, time has definitely caught up with this French beauty. Every new tank since 2019 that's been introduced has been very powerful. It's got very good gun, very good alpha damage, very good mobility. It seems like speed, accuracy, mobility, armor is like a feature of all the new tanks. So all the tanks are getting better. And then wheel tanks came out, the Barras came out, the Progetto came out, and then now equipment 2.0 has been around for a while now, and it kind of eats into the competitiveness of the 1357. The battlefield has definitely changed dramatically, but if you're considering buying this tank, be aware this tank does not fire standard shells. I am in full premium setup, and that is because the standard shells is something like 149 penetration, really poor penetration. And if you decide to play this with standard shells, you're gonna be disappointed a lot of the times. And it also has a very low shell count, which means you can run out of shells you know, 1 out of 5, maybe 1 out of 7 games, you will run out of shells. So if you do decide to carry half premium and half standard ammo, you've got to, you know, be aware that sometimes you're just going to lose your penetration. It's not going to work for you, and you're going to be wasting your shells, and you run out of shells and you lose the game. So for me, this is a full APCR shell gun. I play this try-hard mode all the time, not just because I want to try hard, but because it is more practical that way. You know, don't think of this tank as a credit earner. It's definitely not a credit earner. This tank is played purely for joy. You have to accept the fact that you will lose credits, but it will put a big smile on your face. So here I am cleaning up. It looks like it looks like we're 7 apiece. We're going 1 tank up now, but we are definitely winning this game because we have all the strongest positions. I am in a 1357. Although we were equal in tanks, we were, you know, we killed 2 of their tank destroyers, which don't really count as tanks. So even though we were equal on tanks, they actually have more actual tanks than us because I killed 2 of their artillery pieces, not tank destroyers. Pardon my pardon me anyway. Anyway, I am reclipped and I'm going around the low ground, try to look for that P43, and he's just going to be waiting for me around the corner right here, auto aim, and instead of engaging him, I'm just going to shoot at him and drive off, because if he gets another 1 or 2 shots on me, I could be no HP and dead. So I'm reloading and I'm going to turn around and see if I can finish him off if my teammates have not already tried to finish him off. It looks like my teammates get there before I do. So there's just 1 more tank left on this game, and he's sitting in our cap. This was a 14v14 game because I played this sometime around midnight or early in the wee hours of the morning, but I was trying to juke this guy. I was going to pretend I'm going to go right and then I'm going to go left, but actually I wasn't spotted, and he couldn't have known anyway. But I was overconfident here and I thought I could flank him and you know, do the circle jerk around him, but he's caught me and finished me off there with 1 shot. But I still got a really good game out of this. 2,700 damage, 0 spotting damage, or 154 spotting damage. So this is a game where I'm top tier. I need to be aggressive. I need to be the guy doing the damage, not doing the spotting. And this is the results from the first game. Not a lot of damage here for me. 515 spotting, but like I said, I was up against that EBR Hodge, and he got all the spotting damage here. 1600 spotting damage. That could have been me, but unfortunately it wasn't. We still won the game, so who cares? This is the Abbey game, and I did 2700 damage. This is very normal for a 1357. 0 spotting damage because I didn't spot anything in their base, even though I tried. But yeah, this is the 1357. Hope you got some information and hopefully influenced you enough. Maybe you will pick up a 1357 real soon. But thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.